And welcome back to MD Globe Muscle here at the Unrise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. I'm joined all the way from somewhere in America, the unbelievably freaky amateur, Elliott Dermond.
Hey, how you doing?
Mate, I'm doing really, really well. This is a bit of an unusual one because normally we don't have amateurs on. We just kind of have the pros on. But mate, you've really caught my eye in the last couple of years. So right, where do we start? Now, first of all, because I've brought you up in my hot news segment a few times, and I've said, like, God, this guy is he's a pro card waiting to happen. I mean, look at the pictures over your shoulder. I mean, we can see, it's like, you'd think that was Branch Warren. So so what happened with you? Because this is 2 years of the Nationals you've kind of skipped now. Do you want to tell us what happened?
Yeah. So in 2021, that was going to be my first attempt at a pro qualifier. I've still never done a pro qualifier. So I was 23 years old and I wanted to throw my hat in the ring for Nationals in 2021. I live in Florida, so it was about a 3-hour drive away from me too. And pretty much I hired my coach, Dominic Cardone, about 10 weeks out, and we got right to work, won the qualifier overall, and basically about 2 weeks out, I contracted COVID.
Oh, no. Shit.
Yeah, so really derailed the prep. I had to kind of, go through some treatment with some doctors, and we didn't want to push my health or anything. So fast forward to 2022. I had surgery at the beginning of the year to remove my gyno glands and everything. So I got right into the off season with the goal of Nationals 2022. And that prep really kind of put me on the map, I think, in social media. I just kind of made a lot of progress in the off season, was translating really well. I'm aware I was a favorite for the show. And about 10 weeks out, I partially tore my distal bicep tendon in my left arm, and we were going to actually continue prep with this. I went to the doctor and had scans, and we kind of figured out how I could work around this. But unfortunately, a few days later, due to the tear, I contracted rhabdomyosis, so I had to be hospitalized because the muscle from my the protein from the tear got into my bloodstream to induce the rhabdo. And then pretty much from there, you're not going to come back to competing when you have rhabdo due to the organ stress internally. So we shut it down, and currently in the off-season phase. But yeah, 2 years in a row, I missed my big show.
Oh, but the thing is, I mean, I literally only just discovered, even though I've been following you for a couple of years, I only actually just discovered that you're only, 24, 25?
Yeah, I turned 25 less than a month ago.
Holy shit. That's impressive, mate. I mean, so tell us about your contest history, because like I was trying to work out whether you're one of these guys that just kind of exploded in a year, or whether you've been you would have been an incredible junior.
Yeah, so I did my first show actually at 16 years old. Had no idea what I was doing. I actually didn't diet at all. I thought you had to be the biggest guy. I was playing football in high school. Yeah. And so I showed up probably, 15% body fat, thinking like I'm the biggest, 15, 16-year-old kid. And I won the team class, and then I just kind of was hooked after that. But I didn't start the bodybuilding lifestyle and taking it seriously until January 2021.
Okay.
And then I've just been with my coach over a year, Dominic Cardone, and so I've been really competitively bodybuilding 2 years, essentially.
Wow. Shit. And I actually think it's going to work to your benefit, this skipping because it now, like from my perspective as a media guy, it's really building, like I was really excited in 2021. I was like, I can't wait to see this guy up against Carlos Thomas, because we all knew that Carlos Thomas Jr. would be one of the front runners. I mean, you could just see the guy, how good the guy was. Like yourself, I just thought, I can't wait to see these two go up against each other. So I think actually it's gonna work in your favor, because you are still so young. I mean, you've just turned 25.
Yeah, Carlos is someone I really wanted to go against. I told him I'll catch him on a pro stage soon. But yeah, I have hopefully a long career ahead of me. So getting these little bugs and injuries out of the way early. So I look forward to the future.
You're in no rush, mate. You're in no rush.
Yeah, Yeah, I have a great team in my corner, and I really just, I'm living the life I want. I'm progressing still every day, and when the cards align, God willing, I'll step on the stage and win the overall at a pro qualifier.
So Grant Cardone's a very, very high-profile coach. How did that come around?
So I met Dominique when I was 16. He did a fitness expo one-on-one training session in my area in Panama City Beach, Florida. And he had just kind of won his pro card and was getting into his own pro career. And then we just were friendly with each other. It was a great experience. He saw my potential. I posed for him and everything. And I've always had a great liking to him. We got along very well, and our views aligned on many things related in bodybuilding and out. And then I was in 2021 Nationals in prep, 10 weeks out was when I hired him. I was unhappy with the coach I had at the time. He was my first coach too. So it was, his name's Brennan Atkins. His Instagram's Trainer Atkins. Fantastic guy, really good. I like him a lot. And I just wanted to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
And I knew Dominique had won the class that I was going to be in. So I figured, what better way to do this? And he's been like a big brother to me. He's really, steered me well with the people I associate with, to how seriously we take my health and everything. And so, yeah, we've been together about a little over a year and probably a month or two now.
So what makes him such a good coach then?
With Dominique, he's very hands-on. That's something I personally like. It's not for everyone, but he will definitely stay on top of you. I remember when I was just posing in prep one time, and I posted to my story, somewhat messing around, and I get a text from him 2 minutes later saying, "Pull your stomach in, bring your arms up, push your legs up."
Yeah, love it.
And I'm just in my head, I'm like, this guy cares. You know what I mean? He really cares. Like that's a great effort. That he goes through a lot for me. And then, we have some, stories where he's really helped me out, just mentally. Like he's just always mentally been there for me. Like I said, a big brother. And I think a good coach believes in you as well. And he sees the same vision that I have for myself and my bodybuilding career. And we really, have a great relationship.
I think because I was speaking to Urs Kalasinski. I mean, there's a guy that's in his early 20s as well, like yourself, and he's really hit the ground running. He's successful, and I think with the coaches that prep the really young guys, like 25 and under, I think they do kind of take on more of almost like a big brother role, because there's so much. It's not just training, diet, and everything else. There's a lot of the mental aspect. There's a lot of changes going on in your physique and everything else that they kind of need to help guide you with, because it's when you're this good, this young, it's like you said, you were on stage at 16, think you didn't even know you had to diet. You know?
Yeah, you pretty much summed it up perfectly. That a lot of the younger guys need that hand in the right direction, leading you down the right path, and he's definitely that for me. I can speak on his knowledge of the sport all day when it comes to diet, training, everything. He's obviously has a credential there, but just on a personal level, I don't think I'll go anywhere else for the rest of my career.
Good. So when did you start showing what, like say somebody saw you in the gym? When would you say that you really started to show like serious potential that would have caught the eye of these kinds of coaches? At what age?
Probably 16 years old.
Wow.
After I did my first show, completely natural, of course. A lot of the local guys were like, "Wow, I didn't know you were a teenager." And,
yeah.
and I was about 195 pounds. I had a good structure and everything. Definitely a larger kid. And I was playing football, so football shape. You have the abs, but you're not bodybuilding lean. And they just kind of took me under their wing. And I've had the tremendous pleasure of growing up with Terrence Ruffin. He's
oh wow,
I grew up with him here.
Nice.
We're from the same area.
Yeah.
I've trained with Alyssa Kiesling, the classical queen.
Yeah,
she's from this area.
New York Pro champion.
Yep, IFBB Pro Chad Reed is from this area. IFBB Pro Aaron Clark's from this area. and they really took me under their wing since I was a teenager, and I never took myself as seriously as they took me. And when I started, everything just took off from there.
I mean, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, really. Sort of, I'm thinking about seeing you in the pros against Nick Walker and Carlos Thomas Jr. But it's kind of like last year we had Krizo, Michael Krizonek, and people were speculating. Jay Cutler and Milos were all saying, okay, where is this guy going to place at this year's Olympia? And I'm like, guys, he's not even turned pro yet. Slow down. But with people like yourself and guys like Krizo with that level of physique and physique development, you can see it's like just literally, I just said in Hot News, I mean, it'll be following this segment when it comes out. And I said, look, it's just a foregone conclusion when this guy gets his pro card. It's not a quick question of if, it's when.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a really great point. It's easy to get ahead of ourselves, especially with Krizo and I remember Andrew Jacks before he even turned pro.
Yeah.
This sport definitely has a lot of great competitors that are coming up right now, really hot, and it's really cool to be mentioned with names like that. And I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I believe in myself and my team, and once I do win that pro card, I don't think we'll be too far off from being competitive on a pro stage.
So how tall are you, mate?
I'm a hair under 5'10".
Oh wow! I didn't realize you were that tall.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No one believes that, but I just went to the doctor and I'm a little over 5'9", under 5'10".
Wow, because I was looking on Hot News, and the thing is, the problem is with guys that you're like as thickly muscled as you, you look kind of shorter. And I was like, because I was saying, no, he's too big for 212. He's too big for 212 because I don't think he's 5'4" or under. Because, like I said, you're really thick and round, and that can also make you guys like I said, like Hunter's a bit like that. I was surprised Hunter was as tall as he was. He looks like 5'8", 5'9". He's near 6 foot, So I guess that throws out the argument of you ever doing 212 unless you saw a leg off.
Yeah, I get the 212 comments all the time, and it's just like I'm like, guys, I don't think it's happening. But
No.
I appreciate the compliment to the thickness of my physique, I'll say.
Hang on a minute, you were 212 when you were 16.
Yeah. I got the 280 when I was 20, just bulking up and eating whatever. But yeah, I've never had a problem putting muscle tissue on, and I don't even think I've ever even thought about 212. Not a pro yet, but
no.
I'll definitely be an open guy for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, if anything over really with that amount of muscle that you've got, anything over 5'5", really, you're really open. So I mean, So the plan obviously now is I'm guessing, to pick a pro qualifier. Do you not even fancy doing like an easier pro qualifier just to get it out of the way? Or do you want to go to the NPC USA or to the Nationals and really prove yourself as like, okay, I'm not just deserving, I'm like dominant as an amateur in America?
Yeah, I absolutely will be taking my next prep as personal as anything I've ever taken. And it will be most likely Nationals at the end of this year or USA's and next year. But it will be just something I give my all to. I did look into some overseas shows that people say are easier. You never know who's going to show up. But my goal, because I feel like I was robbed, I want to win an overall at a pro qualifier, and anything less than that is a failure on my part.
Because you robbed yourself through injury, which wasn't really your fault.
Not my fault. I'll blame the injury gods for that one.
Yeah, but like I said, if you were like, say, 40 or something, you'd be like, okay, I really need to get this out of the way. But you're 25, do you know what I mean? And the thing is, your physique already now is like, it would look good on a pro stage. So if you do the Nationals at the end of the year, you're just gonna look that much better again. You're just gonna be. I think it's good to kind of prove yourself in those really. And thing is, in America, there's some very, very good amateur bodybuilders. It's not necessarily you're gonna stroll in at 80% and get an easy win. So if you win and you bring your best on a stage that has a lot of eyes on it, that's really going to get people talking. Whereas if you did a show in Europe and no one kind of hears about it,
You're exactly right. I take the title of Mr. USA very seriously.
Yeah.
All those nationals overall winners, the greats like Jonathan Withers, Carlos Thomas, in recent years. But Mr. USA is Derek Lungford,
Yeah.
Phil Heath, and my boy Stuart Sutherland just won it last year, and that's something I really want. I want to not only build a legacy for myself. But I want to have an established win right off the bat. I just gotta show up and be 100%. I don't want to, if I get a second place pro card, it will be a disappointment to me personally, just because of how high I set the standard for myself.
I mean, yeah, because the thing is, if you went into some, like I said, smaller show, it'd be like maybe seen as a little bit cocky. Do you know what I mean? So better. The thing is, like I said, if you bring your absolute best to a show with very, very good amateurs, then it's gonna really, like I said, get people talking for the pros, isn't it? Really.
Sure is. Yeah, it's also great exposure for my brand of me. Just putting Elliott out there, putting my team out there, and my sponsors, and there's something to be said about a level of pro card, right? Like people are getting second place pro cards because only 2 people showed up in divisions these days.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be one of those. I want to come out firing and get a nice win that I worked for and earned.
So what's your training style? Because I mean, looking at the kind of level of the density, I'm just thinking this guy is a heavy squatter, heavy bencher. But then sometimes you get guys and they go, no, actually I do a lot of cables, I do a lot of machines. And, like you look at Phil Heath, look at his roundness and his muscularity, and he built a lot of that through machines, not free weights. So, I mean, like I said, if you were competing at 16, I'm guessing it was a very, very basic style of training. Tell us.
Yeah, my training style at 16 was pretty much overtraining. It was working out every single day, not having really the knowledge, but I definitely was a heavy bench, squat, deadlifter, and I think that definitely built a solid foundation for me. But my training style now is more similar to like a progressive overload style, where I pretty much never change my movement pattern. I'm always, hitting the same exercises and trying to increase either my form, the weight slightly, my rep count, things like that. I'm very conscientious of how I recover. And so I know, for instance, my chest will be ready the next day. My quads probably need, 4 days off. And so the volume varies, but it's always a progressive overload with a top set at the end of an exercise.
Yeah. How did you ping the bicep?
So it's funny. I was training delts, felt amazing, looked amazing, and then I went to grab my gym bag, and I just heard a pop.
Oh, no.
My gym bag was about 10 pounds.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't doing anything. I wish I had, some crazy story like, Callum Von Moger, curling 405 pounds and tearing it. But luckily, there's no detachment of the muscle.
Good.
It was just a partial tendon tear. So it's looking like I don't even need surgery, which is fantastic. And the muscle, you can't even tell. Like no one even believes me that I did something. But yeah, I'm still working past that.
Who was the guy that he was putting a dumbbell back on the rack? It was his last couple of years. And he pinged his bicep, and it was like, no, because he just had a really heavy session, and then he just basically picked a dumbbell up, and it twanged, Who was that? I'm trying to think who it was. I can't remember.
Nathan Diasha, maybe?
I think it might have been. Yeah, it might be Nathan, yeah.
Because he tore both of his biceps last year.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, I think surgery is so good now. I think a lot of sports injuries, a lot of people are tearing muscles, and I think now... like 20, 30 years ago, pretty much, the surgery, you could see that the muscle looked deformed, and so I think now, it sounds like you got a lucky escape there, mate.
Yeah, I have a great orthopedic surgeon too that I would be comfortable with opening me up if I needed, but the surgery is so cool because what I was gonna have done was get a cadaver Achilles tendon inserted in place of my distal tendon, so it essentially be indestructible, I'm told, by the medical professionals.
Yeah. Well, it does, though, because, I spoke to Branch Warren about, because this was in 2012, we were at Body Power, and it was the Gasp after party, And I said to him, I said, Branch, I said, you know, because he slipped on ice and he tore his quad and he still won the Arnold Classic. And I said, Branch, I said, I've just seen a video of you training and it's still that same choppy, crazy style. I says, you're not worried that you could like tear something again? And he says, no, Giles. He said, it's like, he said, tendons. He said, a lot of muscle tears and tendon, like, you know, ruptures. He said, it's like when you break a bone, it actually heals back stronger. So he didn't see the point in changing his training style. He said, why would I change my training style? He said, well, I didn't even do it training.
That's a great point. Yeah, I didn't do mine training either. It's usually these freak accidents. Growing up an American football player, I've seen people tear their ACL walking, you know, off the field. So that's a great point. Branch is someone I look up to. But every time I watch that man train, it makes me nervous.
Yeah. I was actually in Metroflex in 2012, and Branch and Johnny were doing shoulders, and then Per Bernal was filming them, and I remember just watching them in disbelief, and I was like, how have these guys not torn every single muscle in their body?
Yeah, maybe they have. You know, maybe they get an MRI one day and everything lights up around them, but you know, God bless them. They're some of the legends in the sport for sure. And what they did, you can't argue with an Arnold Classic win. You know?
Yeah. Two.
Yeah, two.
And the second one he did, and you could see at the quad tear. I was there, you know, I was backstage, and I was like, you can see the tear, you know. But so, who do you look up to in bodybuilding then? Who are your kind of idols for physiques?
My favorite physiques are, one is Phil Heath. I have been drawn to his mindset first and his physique second. The dream killer mentality was something that I think a lot of us adopt in prep or deep in the off season when things get really hard. You just remember that it's not you against you, like people say. You're going to be competing against people, and if you miss that meal, you leave that rep out, you know, it's going to catch up because someone might do it. And then, you know, just the roundness of his physique, the chest, the back double bicep in 2011 is probably the craziest shot in bodybuilding to me. I think we all know that one. And then I also love Dorian Yates. His mindset as well, but I mean, his back, you know, just absolute insanity. His hamstrings, the legs, the calves. Dorian is definitely someone I look up to. And then third, I'd have to go Nick Walker. He's probably my favorite physique currently competing right now. I love that he's kind of, you know, put to bed all the structure issues and just really filled out his frame and tweaked his posing, and he's hit it. He's really in stride, and it's really inspiring to see a story of where he's come from too.
I think one thing I love about bodybuilding is that anything can be overcome with either mindset or a combination of that and work ethic. Like Phil, you got narrow clavicles. Well, okay, I'll just build my shoulders so big that they don't look narrow anymore. You know, Nick Walker, you know, he's thrown so much muscle on that frame. It's like, yes, he does have a little structural whatever, but you're too busy looking at the size of the arms and the you know, and the kind of like the readable bicep where the lats come right in, you know. So I think that's the thing. Like I said, that's the thing I do love about bodybuilding is that you know you can just, you know, you can address any issue really.
That's so true. Yeah, you put enough muscle on any frame, and eventually you'll be undeniable. That's what I tell my clients who claim they have bad genetics is, you know, you put enough mass on, don't worry about a thing.
And look, I mean, at the end of the day, Dorian Yates was genetically inferior to Flex Wheeler, Sean Ray, Kevin Levrone, but he just, you know, like you saw what he did. You know, he basically just went to a level of muscularity and conditioning that surpassed other guys, you know, superior genetics.
Yeah. He controlled the variables that he could control, including walking to, you know, the snow to get to the gym. He really was an all or nothing guy, and the other guys weren't. If you look back at the off-season differences, you know, you see the transformations were so big for some of his competition because they you know, according to what people say, is let themselves go a little in the off-season. He kept working. Yeah.
I mean, literally, as soon as he got back from the Olympia, I think he'd just straight back in the gym, you know?
Yeah, that's so cool.
So, I mean, Florida's quite, I think Florida and Vegas now, for me, are kind of the ones where, I mean, you got my friend Kamal's just moved to Florida. there seems to be like real hotbeds activity for bodybuilding. So who have you kind of, you mentioned a few names before. Who have you trained with? Who have you mixed with? Who has been an influence? Who's helped you?
That's a good question.
What about Derek Lunsford?
What was that? I'm sorry.
What about Derek Lunsford? He's in Florida, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in Tampa. I'm in North Florida, so he's about 4 hours away. I think for the most part, I've just been training alone by myself or with my buddies and training partners. I don't really link up with any names in bodybuilding, and that's mostly just because they're not, they're just far away. I may move to different parts of Florida. I love Florida, so I'm going to stay here. But it's usually just me and my training partners. I have a great training partner named Harrison. He's a local here at North Florida, and we just get after it. We don't really we don't have any big names that come through and help us. We kind of take care of business ourselves.
I see you collect pops.
Sure do. Yeah.
I got Lauren. The things I've got in my office, I've got about a dozen of them. I've got the Batman ones and the. Yeah, cool. Is that Venom? No, that's Bane. Bane.
Yeah, I got Bane, Joker, Venom, Doctor Doom.
My God! You want to see my office? You need to see my office. I'll send you a picture later. I'll do a little video, a little sweep, and you'll be like, yeah, I'm really digging this office, like.
Yeah, please do. That's funny.
So you're into the whole comic book thing, Batman thing, then? I think me and him need to be mates.
Yeah, I'm a big comic guy. I have a few really rare ones.
Oh, some key issues there. Slabbed. I love it.
I got this.
I've got that one, but I haven't got it slabbed and graded.
Yeah, the first issue of Bane in it is pretty cool. But I'm a big Batman guy, not a big Marvel guy, but yeah, I'm a.
Oh my God! You really need to see my house. Do you know? Have you ever read Judgment on Gotham, the 1991 DC Comics, Judge Dredd and Batman?
I haven't, no.
By Simon Bisley. Have you ever seen it? You need to Judgment on Gotham. Google it when you finish this, and have a look at the artwork, because Batman and Judge Dredd are like 270 shredded.
Wow! All right, yeah, I'll give that one a look.
But no, I'm friends with that. I'm friends with that comic artist.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Send me that, and I'll look it up for sure. That's cool. Comic book heroes' physiques have always inspired me from a young age. Specifically, just like Bane, because I think that's all his superpower was, just being huge, right?
Yeah.
So that's it's been something I've been interested in my whole life.
And I'm hoping Christian Bale turns up at the end of The Flash.
Oh,
Did you hear that? They're reshooting. They're doing a reshoot, and there's a rumor that Christian Bale might be joining Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck for the Flash. They're reshooting. They've changed the ending slightly because they think the rumor is they might have Christian Bale come as the third multiverse Batman. Oh,
make that happen. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Cool, isn't it? Cool.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Anyway, back to bodybuilding. So, obviously, we've got the Arnold Classic coming up. I guess you follow bodybuilding quite closely. It sounds like it's going to be an absolutely incredible Arnold Classic. Who are you rooting for and why?
I'm going to root for every American. Just super,
Yeah.
But Nick Walker is just personally my favorite. However, I'm going to pick Samson to win.
Wow. Awesome.
What we've seen in his updates. But I thought he was I didn't think he placed as high as he should have in the Olympia, like a few other people. But yeah, I got Nick or Samson. Those are my favorites for that.
Yeah, and I've obviously got Ramy. I mean, have you heard about Ramy with a stem cell? And they're saying that they've made miraculous improvements to his physique. We have Andrew Jacked, obviously now working with same year. That's my response as well. Psycho, no disrespect to his team, whatever, but I just don't. I mean, stem cell is like a long-term thing. It's like a 2-year plan, not like a couple of jabs and boom, everything comes back like a miracle.
Yes.
We've got obviously Sean Clarida. So I mean, what's your pick? Because I've just literally been talking about Sean Clarida in Hot News because we filmed it in reverse. What's your opinion on Sean Clarida coming into the Arnold as an open?
I think that's awesome. When he won Legion, whenever that was, the overall in the open class, that was so cool. Like, I love his underdog story. I love his physique. I love his mindset. I just think the poundage and the height difference will get in his way when he stands next to Samson. I also like his Samson structure better personally, but I think we all know Sean will be probably the best conditioned in the show, close to it. And yeah, I'm not a Ramy believer. I really was disappointed at the Olympia this year, and I think Father Time is starting to catch up. I don't think his organs are processing everything. It's the Rolly Winkler effect. If you kind of look back on his last couple showings, they have a very similar unhealthy scar tissue look to them, nerve damagey. I don't think things are going to be fixed, and I think Ramy's career is over.
Yeah, I mean, I think, really you have a shelf life of this industry, and some can stretch it out, like Dexter did, right until they're in their 50s. You got Kamalo Gagni, who is looks fresher than ever. You know, the guy is nearly 52, and he said, I'm done with 212. He says, I'm jumping into Open and Masters now.
That's so cool. Yeah, Kamal's a really nice guy. He's a good guy. And, he's a Mr. Olympia. People forget that a lot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know how he'll do in the Open at just, restrictions with his age, because you obviously want him to live a long life and you don't want to push the envelope too much. But as a fan, I can't wait to see him stand next to some of the bigger guys in Open. I love the transition lately of, Lungsford, Clarita, all these guys to the Open, and really, really not being restricted by a weight cap and filling out their physique and giving it their best look. Nathan Epler is another one I'm excited for. I really love where open bodybuilding is headed right now. It's fun to be a fan right now, honestly.
And the thing is, you're a freaky bodybuilder yourself. You like Nick Walker, who's completely freaky. And then you also have appreciation for someone like Samson, because people forget actually how big Samson was depleted, he weighed at 294.5 before he carved up for the Olympia. Now, he's nearly 300 pounds on stage, and his waist is 34 inches. He's so aesthetic. So, so I'm glad that you've got appreciation for a physique like that as well.
Yeah. He is the freak of freaks right now. I can't name anyone with better waist other than Andrew Jacked, probably. He's awesome. I'm a big fan of Samson. He's my favorite to win, but I will be rooting for Nick Walker.
Yeah. Nick really, as the past winner in 2021, he's really, you'd be a fool to not have him as, one of the absolute favorites to win this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And his posing coach is my posing coach, Joey Belt.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we were talking about, before I got injured, us going down and training in Tampa when he was, before he moved to Vegas. And, so I really like his presentation, especially at the Olympia. You kind of saw him hit some shots he didn't really hit. His routine was nice. Midsection was, I think, the best we've ever seen it. And he got rewarded for it for sure. Third place is a really great finish.
Sorry, who's that? Who are you talking about now? Oh, Nick.
Nick.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Samson. I was like, yeah. Nick's done well, man. He's done really, really well. I still would like to see. I still think there's some small improvements he could make to his physique, though. I feel like a little bit more chest, because I think it's not that he's got a weak chest. It's just his shoulders and arms are just, that's a problem when you have a really good body part. You can't, the others around them can't be just average. They can't be just good. They have to be, otherwise they do look like a weakness, and when they're really not,
Oh, yeah, you're telling me when I hit my back double bicep, my chest is, and delts are my strong point, so my chest is seen from the back.
Yeah.
And this makes my back look more narrow, so
yeah.
I know all about that problem. That's something I'm trying to fix myself.
Yeah. So, say from now until the NPC USA or the Nationals, what improvements do you want to make to your physique from now till then?
I'd like to bring up my entire posterior chain. I don't think a hamstring drop can ever be too big. So, but specifically my spinal erectors and my lat thickness. This was something I'd like to bring up. I do feel like I'm a wider guy in my front shots, but I feel like I lose some of that in my back shots due to my lat insertions. So I just got to kind of fill out everything in the right places, make this lower back a little thicker, glutes a little thicker, and then I'll be really, proud of the package I'll bring.
I honestly, I think when you eventually do turn pro, I think you're going to be glad that you didn't turn pro when you were 23, because you're going to look, if you did on the 2021 Nationals, you could have got your pro card, but now you're going to be like 2 years on, you're going to be so much better. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes like when talking about Samson, when he had all those issues in 2021 with the travel and he was stuck out in Korea, I said that those things happening to you, those setbacks, built more of a fan base than if you'd have gone and won the show. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes these things can look like a curse, but actually they're a bit of a blessing.
I agree. It builds the anticipation, if nothing else. I think a great guy to mention is Antoine. He's had so many strokes. He's torn both his biceps. Been in and out of rehab. Struggled with drug problems that he's talked openly about, and now he's on the Olympia stage this year. And time. People gave up on him, but he never gave up on himself. And I absolutely am not going to be, beaten by a little, just a little arm injury and rhabdo. So I'm looking forward to really, like you said, having more time to work on my craft. Like I'll probably be 250, 260 on stage when I do.
Shit. And the thing is, I think setbacks really will test your character anyway, to see if you've really got because there are levels to this sport. I mean, you're at one level now. It's almost a foregone. Well, I wouldn't like to say it's a foregone conclusion, but it's very likely that you will turn pro this year. Then you've gone to another level, and then you're kind of at the bottom again, starting in the pros. Like I said, like Samson has. Going for winning mid-level pro shows, then go and get top 3 at the Arnold Classic, top 4 or whatever, then top 6 at the Olympia. There's levels to this sport. So it's like these setbacks will really test you along the way to see if you've really got if you've got what it takes.
Yeah, that's something my coach instilled in me too. I was pretty heartbroken, having to pull out 2 years in a row, feeling like I let people down. But those who actually are with me know that this will just be a positive. Like you said, it'll be a blessing to work on my craft, and also I think it could translate into much more of a dominant win when I do get on stage too. Really send a message about what I'm about and that I'm here to stay. And that's my goal this year.
And also, I think, I thought the 2021 Nationals was one of the best Nationals for over a decade. I thought the standard there, because for a few years it did drop a little bit. I felt like the overall standard of the bodybuilding, the classic, men's physique, all those classes kind of grew. And I felt like the bodybuilding, it dropped off a little bit. And then the last couple of years, I feel like the standard, like Justin Shire, Carlos Thomas Jr., guys like that. I felt like it's jumped up again. So like I say, if you go into a show like that, now, you're winning, because obviously we saw the 1991 Nationals. It was Kevin Nevrone, Flex Wheeler, Paul DeMeo, Chris Cormier, bloody Bob Chick, Ronnie Coleman. It was incredible. But I feel like now, the standard is raising again, with people like yourself.
I agree wholeheartedly. There's a lot of good up-and-coming guys in classic and bodybuilding, but the standard was so low for so long. Yeah. I think 2018 to just about 2020 was kind of a drop-off, but then 2021 for bodybuilding with Carlos and that super heavy class was insane. Nate Spear.
Yeah, Nate was good.
Matt Berzicott, who's retired now, got third. Just quality. And then the heavyweights, weren't there 40? I think there were 40 heavyweights.
Yeah.
Justin Shear won, and I really wanted to, stand next to him, get a look, how I stacked up next to him. And hopefully I will soon on the pro stage one day.
I really rate Justin Shire, because everyone was on about Carlos Thomas Jr. I'm like, no, actually, I said you need to really look at someone like Justin Shire. I think he's got as much potential as Carlos, if not more.
Yeah, I got to agree there.
Beautiful structure.
Yep. I love both those guys' physiques. Carlos's legs are just absolutely probably, ridiculous. Probably one of the best legs in the league right now. But Justin's front double bicep, that guy has some freaky shots. Just the vacuum, the arms, just it really blows you away. And then he really his conditioning in that show, I don't think I've ever said you're too conditioned, but even he admitted he was slightly too conditioned. He lost a little leg size, but probably the most peeled guy on the show. I really, really like that look he brought.
I love watching his training content. It's like form porn. Because it's because I always comment, I was like, look at the form on those T-bar rows, man. It's like you just know that guy is hitting every single angle. He's really kettle at the way he thinks, the way he trains and stuff like that. It's like I like that kind of approach, because you know that those guys are the ones that really they're going to stay injury free, and they're gonna keep progressing.
Yeah, he's got a really cool story. He's in his mid-30s, late 30s, but so he got into bodybuilding super late too. And he was a entrepreneur, business owner, made his money outside of bodybuilding, and has now had a career in bodybuilding, to finish out the rest of his career. And so he has his own gym, and how cool would that be to design your own gym?
Yeah.
You're as good at training as he is. I bet I would love to train at his gym. I bet every piece of equipment is awesome.
Nice. So where do you train, mate?
I train at Gold's Gym Destin, Florida, and then I also train at Fitness 360 and Fitness Junkie. So Fitness Junkie is pretty well known. A lot of pros travel there and train. Shanique Grant used to train there a lot. Just a lot of big time names have been in and out of that place, and I love the facilities and the owners. So shout out to them for always taking care of me and everything.
Good. Couple more questions, mate. What do you do for a living? I didn't ask before. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm in my family is in the restaurant business. So we have a franchise chain down here that is breakfast, brunch, and lunch. It's called First Watch. Mm-hmm. It started in Florida, but it's now nationwide. And so, I'm in a leadership role with my father and mother running the business, the family business. We're opening up new stores. We just opened one in Tallahassee, Florida. And then outside of that, I also coach on the side too.
Okay, good.
So I have a really nice client roster I'm excited about coming up for this year. I'm looking to have a lot of people win their pro cards, a few masters bodybuilder guys that I'm really excited about. And then I also, have sponsorships and make commission-based sales and stuff along with salary on the sponsorships.
Fantastic. You're doing all right then, mate. Thing is, like I said, you haven't even turned pro yet. So I can imagine, and I like I said, if you go and get a win at like the NPC Nationals or the USA, I think you're gonna be on the a bigger radar then, for bigger opportunities.
Yeah, that's another reason that this is a blessing having to miss a show, because you're the overall winner. Your name's on the banner forever. You get tons of exposure from the business side of bodybuilding. Just more social media clicks, as we know. There's a lot of monetary gain in that. So yeah, there's a lot of business to be had in the game of bodybuilding, and that's something I look to take full advantage of as I get into a pro career, hopefully.
Good. Do you want to give a quick shout out to any sponsors, mate?
Yeah, so thank you to Michael, Condemned Labs. He's the owner of that. They're my main sponsor. They produce high quality supplements here in the United States. I'm also sponsored by Amino Asylum. They're a great brand that I use too. Just kind of a peptide type company with lots of great research products. Mm-hmm. And then Flavor Gang as well. Flavor Gang sauces and Bologane's cream of rice type products, just really helping me, diet easy and prep. And, they take great care of me, and I'm very thankful for them.
Good. Also, just something popped into my head. Somebody made a comment saying basically how good a condition you hold even in the off season. Someone said like, oh, that's how you look 16 weeks out. And it was like a side chest, and you look like sort of like 4 weeks out. Do you stay in really good condition all year round? Is that intentional?
Yeah, it's not intentional, but it happens. And so when I am like 12 weeks out, I look show ready, unfortunately.
Wow.
And I think that's why I got hurt. I think I was too dry.
Yeah.
And so me and Dom have always done these, longer preps, because last prep for nationals 20 weeks, and then this one is 20. And, by 14 weeks out, I'm like ready. So it's hard to hold that, body fat level that low. And right now I'm eating 800 grams of carbs a day. And I'd say I'm still about 10% body fat.
Wow.
Yeah. Just, I think it's metabolism just really picks up as I eat more food and it's working.
Sounds like you've got very good internal genetics as well. You've got internal and external genetics. So that is I think that's going to be handy when you turn pro. Like if you want to do, say you want to go do like 4 or 5 shows in a row, I think that is where it's going to really come in handy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can get in shape.
Sorry, one second. Sorry.
Oh, good.
Something about cream of rice. Oh, Lauren, stop it. You talk in the mic. You've got the mic there. You've moved the mic. Sorry, she's asking about cream of rice. What?
I was just wondering if they shipped the...
Okay. I thought it was a technical issue then, Lauren. Not bloody cream of rice.
800 grams of carbs, you go.
800 grams of carbs. Sorry, mate, you were saying.
You're fine. Yeah, so they only ship in the United States, unfortunately, if you want to let her know.
Damn you. And you've got the mic there. You've just moved it out of the way. So this is what the mic is there for, you see. So sorry, he's having a bit of domestic here, mate. Right, Elliott. Mate, I'm gonna let you go. Any thank yous you want to give before I let you finish your Sunday, mate?
Yeah, I'm a Christian, and I just want to thank God for everything He's done in my life and continue to do. I have a really wonderful life with great people and great opportunities, like getting to come on your show. And I just want to always take a moment to be thankful and show gratitude for the amazing support I have. Anyone that likes a picture or anything of mine, just comments, nice stuff. It goes a long way, and I really appreciate it. So thank you to everyone, and thanks to the man above.
Good. Well, I think you've got a really good attitude because, like I said, I'm always like nervous when I see guys your age so good and at such an advanced level. You can sometimes it can either go one way or the other. Do you know what I mean? Because, like I said to Urs Kalasinski, I said, mate, when I saw you got at 23 years old, when you got 4th in the Olympia, I was actually like, uh-oh. This could go to your head very quickly. You've gone from being an amateur and you've won Tampa. Now you're 4th in Olympia. Like I've seen many, many bodybuilders fall off. Do you know what I mean? Because the success goes to the head, their life changes, and it's like they can't almost process it. They can't handle it. But you seem to have everything in place. You've got good people around. You've got a good coach. You have a good career. It sounds like you've got very, very good support and also very, very, very good mindset, especially with, the skipping the 2 years because obviously, it was taken away from you, So I think that's one thing I'm taking away from this discussion.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. Where the mind goes, the body follows. So yeah. I could sit and sulk and be upset that I missed a great opportunity, or I could be excited for the next one, and that's what I'm choosing to do.
Yeah, and like I said, at some point in your career, whether it be pro or amateur, both, it's you're going to get some sort of adversity, you're going to get some challenge, and it probably will. Something might happen again, further down the line, something personal or something you never know. So I think if the mindset's right and the resilience is there, you're going to be able to, just like I said, just plow through and keep moving forward.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, especially in this sport.
Yeah,
it's easy to lose your career very quickly, unfortunately, in the game we play. But I'm doing things the best way I know how, and hopefully I'm just getting started.
Mate, it's definitely working.
Thank you.
Right then, Elliott. Thank you so much for coming on MD Global Muscle. It's been a real pleasure. I've really enjoyed this talk because, like I said, we've never really spoken before. So it's like I said, I always like getting on the next generation, like people like yourself. It's like I remember when I first interviewed William Bonac, and then these guys go on to be great successes. So it's always. I always get just as much, satisfaction out of, the up and coming guys as I had Andrew Jacked on, I had William Bonac, we had Zach Khan and Milos and all these big names, and Kamal and Sean Clarida. But like the people like yourself, these are the people that, like I said, you're the you're the next generation. So I think it's very important to kind of give you guys promotion and publicity and let people know who you are.
Yeah, thank you for what you do, pushing the sport we all love and giving me a voice and a platform to share my story with you. So, thanks to you and the rest of the bodybuilding media that, carries great integrity like yourselves.
All right, then, mate. I'm going to let you go get some food, and I will speak to you very soon. Hopefully, maybe bump into you in one of the American shows sometime in the future. Probably be on a pro stage. So, So I'm looking forward to that, mate.
I look forward to it as well. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Elliott.
All right. Goodbye.
Okay, guys, it's hot news time for season 5, episode 20 of MD Glow Muscle, and Lauren is back. And
No.
are you gonna camera to you?
I don't like looking in the camera.
Put it. You gotta put yourself on camera. That's the whole point of having the second camera angle. So there you are. Hang on. What are we seeing? Who's seeing what? Are you being seen now, or am I being seen?
You're being seen.
Well, put yourself on, because I want to show that we've got, we've made another epic advancement with MD Glow Muscle. So give him a wave, Lauren.
I did.
Oh, you just okay, right? Okay, because obviously Lauren is back this week. Next couple of weeks, because Lauren has her accountancy exams. Very, very important, very massive, major, very, very hard accountancy exams. So she's got those. So Derek Clark, who did the producing and kind of co-hosting last week for MD Glow Muscle, got to stop touching the mic. He was here last week, and I think he's going to be here the next 2 weeks. But today, Lauren is back with us, so yay! So back to Lauren. And like I said, we've got the third, not third, is it a third? Well, other camera angle now, pointed directly at the producer. So now we've got the mic working. We are moving forward. It's these tiny little improvements, that make, that add up over time. Incremental improvements, very Jordan Peterson, So, and also we had a bit of a technical issue with guest, this guy, Mohammed Fouda, an Egyptian athlete now resident in Dubai, prepped by Hani Rambod. We couldn't get his Skype to work. We couldn't get his connection to work. We couldn't even get a visual. So we aborted, and we're going to have to reschedule for next week. And unfortunately, we can't film like tomorrow, because sometimes we might split this over 2 days. It's just not going to be possible. So like I said, we've only got one guest this week. We've got Elliott Dermond. We haven't done him yet, so hopefully he'll turn up. So I want to go through his Mohammed Fouda's Instagram account, because I've been following this guy since 2018 when he was amateur. He's only done one pro show to my knowledge, and he was top 5 at the KO Squad, the Egyptian show in 2021, wasn't it? Was it 4th or 5th he got there? And for me, I think potentially this guy is a Hadi 2.0. Just this photo says it all. Literally, if you squint, you could think he was Hadi, couldn't you? You squinting? I'm squinting. Actually, I'm squinting one eye and the other eye is completely shut. So, what do you think? You've seen Hadi? You saw Hadi win the Olympia, the new number 16th or 17th Mr. Olympia ever. Do you think, you can see why I might say that he's very reminiscent of, and, in the mold of Hadi Choopan, sorry.
I think he looks really good, but I still think he's got some time to go.
Yeah, well, obviously, because Hadi's Mr. Olympia now, and this guy Mohammed,
like his legs.
He's awesome. He's thick everywhere as well.
No, forget the thickness. Look at his leg.
His leg or legs?
The legs. Look at the those.
Nice sweep. Good sweep there. Look, let's have a look at zoom in on the sweep there. Look. So that's what you call a proper quad sweep.
It's very nice.
So he's got good leg separation, and he's also prepped by Hani Rambod. So he's on the Evogen team as well. So he's, I think Mohammed's really, like I said, he caught my eye in about 2018. It was 2018. I featured him in a different show a few years ago, and I really rated him then. And it took him longer than I thought actually to turn pro, but he eventually got his pro card, and I think he's really, really good, and I think he's got a lot of potential. And also he's going to see if Ricardo, Rude Boy, his friend out there in Dubai. God, Ricardo gets around, doesn't he? No, because he lived in the UK from 2009 till he won the British in 2013.
I think 2018 because he was in Peterborough.
Yeah, no, so he stayed in the UK from 2009 to 2018. Then I believe he moved to Brazil. Mm-hmm. Didn't he move to Spain at some point? Because I saw him with Emilio at one of the Olympias.
I don't know if he...
Did he move?
know. Oh, my goodness.
You're confused with the cameras.
I don't know if he moved there, but he definitely was there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he moves because every time I see him popping up on other athletes around the world on the newsfeed, he's in the gym in the background or he's with them backstage at shows. And I'm sure he was, because I heard he was backstage at one of the Brazil shows. So maybe he was living out there, but now it seems he's living in Dubai. But anyway, let's talk about Mohamed Fouda, his friend. And so this was the latest update. I walk with the 5 strongest world champions. I will turn into the 6th.
Wow.
So you can imagine the pressure he's got on him now, working with someone like Hani Rambod, who's obviously got.
That's nice.
He's a coach of the 1 and 2 at the Olympia. Derek Lunsford, Hadi Choopan. He's Chris Bumstead's coach. And the thing is with Hani Rambod, he doesn't take on a lot of athletes. So he has a very small stable of athletes. So he must really believe in Mohamed Fouda.
Yeah, he's really thick.
He's good, isn't he? I mean, pick a fault on him.
No, he's got like muscle everywhere.
He's got a nice physique, isn't it? It's nicely separated.
Sorry.
It's good quality. And like you said, Lauren says he's got muscle everywhere. So
there's like not one body part that looks like it's missing.
To the mic, though.
Sorry.
Nice and close.
I'm still figuring it out. I said it looks like there's not one body part that's missing. So nice.
He's got good calves. Everything's there. Like I said, I think, like I said, back in 2018, I thought, my God, here's a guy to keep an eye on. And like I said, I expect he took longer than it maybe I expected for him to turn pro. And really, but you know, he's made top 5 in his first pro show, so that's big. And that was a good show. That the Egyptian one. And the thing is, one thing I want to ask him is what happened to the KO Squad show? Because that first year with promoter Islam Cortage, it seemed like they really created something very special. They went to no expense. They pulled in some really, really good names. I mean, they had Regan Grimes, they had Samson, Mohamed Fouda, we had Mohamed, 1 or 2 other big names as well. But it was it looked like a show that was really here to stay on the European circuit. So I'll be interested to know what's happening with that show because the KO Squad, Islam, the promoter, he has big Ramy on his books. So this guy, and he looks like he's done well for himself. So I'll be surprised why we haven't heard any update on the Egyptian show. So it's something I'm going to be looking to find out because, like I said, that was a fantastic first event. I mean, 2021 we had the Boston Pro. We had the KO Squad, the Egyptian show, and it's great to see these fantastic new events. In the 2020, I think we had, was it 2021? 2020? We had the Texas Pro, with Freddie Nadeau. I mean, there's some really, really good new pro events coming to the calendar. But let's have a couple more pictures. Look at the separation in the quads. He's quality, isn't he? He's hard to beat. Guys like this, they end up being very, very hard to beat if they manage to keep this level of quality of he's got the stripy delts. He's got stripy delts. He's got triangle butt. Triangle butt. That's one thing I want. I think that's what won my first show. I had the because I used to train the tie-ins with the glute and the hams.
V-tips.
The V-tips, yeah. So but I call them triangle butt.
I have
triangle butt, stripy delts. What else do we like? What else do we like on bodybuilders?
No jabby jab shoulders.
No. Well, that is stripy delts because if you jabby jab shoulders, you ain't gonna have no stripy delts. So basically, so I really, really hope we can get Mohamed on for next week because, like I said, I've been after this guy for a while because I think he's absolutely freaking awesome. Here he is with Hani Rambod, and Hani would not have taken him on if he didn't really, really think this guy had serious potential. So, I mean, honestly, he looks. That's very, very Hadi. I think he's not majorly far from. Potentially becoming as good as a Hadi. I mean, like I said, everything is there. The structure's there, the symmetry, the thickness, the quality. He's not missing anything. There's that Andre Rio, the men's physique guy. He's Evogen. He's been 5th in Olympia. Huge social media following. Seems like a cool guy as well. But actually went up to Hani Rambod at the after the Super Sunday seminar. And he's just nodding at me. No, he did. I remember I said to Hani, the video of you and me by the Olympia thing. And it was our last video we did.
Oh, yeah.
And then Hani and Chris Bumstead walked past. And I went up to Hani and I said, Hani, I says, mate, I said, fair play, congratulations. I said, you had 1 and 2 in the Open Mr. Olympia, Derek and Hadi. And you got the 4 time. And you really did wonders with Chris Bumstead, who was already incredible and the best classic bodybuilder in the world. What he did with him, from 2021 to 2022 was absolutely mind-blowing. So, that was absolutely incredible. So I said to him, and I said, he said, I couldn't have wished for any better, really. I mean, you couldn't really if you've got 3 athletes and you've got 1 and 2 in the open and you've got the main classic guy. It's bloody impressive. So, yeah, so watch this space for Mohammed. I think he's still quite young as well. I think early 30s. Very haddy there. Very haddy. I mean, imagine him with another 10, 15 pounds. I mean, yeah, if you squint, you could be a stunt double for Hadi Choopan. Be interesting to see some good training videos of the two of them, actually, because, well, Hadi is Iranian. Mohammed Fouda he's Egyptian, but like I said, he's now living in Dubai. I wonder why they all moved from, I suppose, better opportunities, isn't there, maybe, for personal training. I don't know what he does. I mean, like I said, that's why I wanted to get him on, to find out more about him, what he does, what his background is, why he moved to Dubai. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, he just needs a bit more, doesn't he? A little bit more thickness and muscle, but yeah. I mean, that's very handy. I know I've got to stop saying that. He's a good bodybuilder in his own right, but like I said, oh wow, look at that. Hadi Choopan is the number 1 guy at the moment, so this is kind of what they're all having to sort of chase. So that's the benchmark that Mohammed Fouda is going to have to kind of face up to, at some point or another if Hadi continues his reign as Mr. Olympia. So anyway, yeah. So like I said, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get these technical issues fixed and we can get him on for next episode 21 of MD Glow Muscle. Right, going to go into Elliott Dermond, who hopefully we had in this episode. Otherwise, the whole episode's getting canned. So yeah, this guy, Lauren, would you believe this guy's an amateur?
No.
Yeah. What you are is God's gift to you. What you become is your gift to God. Become great. I mean, what a monster. Now, Elliott last year, what do you think? He's huge, isn't he? Now, he's been like pretty freaky for the last couple of years, and he was due to do the NPC Nationals last year, but at the last minute, I forget what the injury was. Like I said, by the time you watch this, you'll have watched the Elliott interview, and you'll find out, I think it was some forearm or bicep or something. He tore something, basically he had to pull out the NPC Nationals because it was just like, for me, it was almost like a foregone conclusion that Elliott was going to get his pro card at the NPC Nationals because, I mean, he is pro standard here. And I remember a couple of years ago he needed a bit more back, but then I saw the pictures and videos last year, 2022. Look at that. I mean, I have featured him actually a few times in Hot News, and I mean, I'm sure you can understand why. I mean, the guy's an absolute monster.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Are selfies still cool? Do you know? I was talking about earlier on, Anth. He was the one who taught me the word selfie. In 2013, and I was prepping. I sent him a couple of like progress shots of my abs and my chest and everything, and he said, "Lol, is this your first selfie?" I said, "Selfie? What's that?" And as I said it, I realised what it was. It was quite self-explanatory. Selfie? Yeah, well, we know now because everyone does selfies, I know, but it's funny. Like 10 years ago, wasn't heard of. So yeah, and then I sent it to Zach Khan, and he says, "What, bro? You should do men's physique." And I was not impressed by that. Sorry, no disrespect, guys. But yeah, I did.
You do good in men's physique.
No, all the bloody twirling of the hands and all the not being able to pose and being told off for flexing. No. I'm not got good abs and everything, but no, not men's physique. Not for me. I don't think I can get motivated to prep for a shit. I saw that little side look. I saw that. I saw it up on the screen, Lauren.
Like this video, if you want Giles to come back as a master and try
Masters. I know you said bikini then.
Well, men's physique is kind of like the
men's bikini.
Is like what I would.
I'd rather do bikini than do men's physique. No, I'm joking. I'm being flippant now, Lauren. I apologize. But yeah, so look at this video. Want a big chest? My God, his chest is he's got an obese chest. It's like so big. Look at that.
He's very shiny on his.
He's very shiny. I think he's sweaty because he's just been doing 4-plate inclines.
Oh my, that's
You've got to do your presses. My God, he's playing with that 4 plates. It's very narrow grip, that, isn't it? Not narrow grip.
I don't really do chest, so I can't comment on this.
Yeah, well, I do. Actually, I've been feeling a bit of a pull on my chest from obviously my scar down the middle. I've just been feeling a little bit on the right pec because the scar is actually slightly to the left. It's not straight down the middle. So don't worry, I'm not going to show you it. So even though you say it's sexy. So I don't think it's sexy. I think it's bloody horrible. But, you know, it was necessary. But yeah, anyway, back to Elliott Dermond. But yeah, so yeah, I think he's absolutely awesome. I hope he's kind of got the skin color of Crizzo, so I hope he doesn't do what Crizzo did at the Prague show and turn up 90 minutes before that color and then expect to go on stage perfectly colored. But yeah, that was weird. That, I mean, how could you turn up to a show looking like that the morning of the show? Why?
No, I'm just saying I don't know.
Yeah, you could speak.
No, I thought it was
to the mic, dear, to the mic.
Oh dang! I'm gonna have to. I'm trying to switch to myself. It's very confusing. No, I thought Crizzo looked great. I wish
the
he
mic.
did come in. I don't want to look directly at the camera.
Oh, okay, but you got to speak to the mic because it's not as sensitive as mine. Mine's slightly better. I've got the best mic. You've got the peasant mic.
Right now, I'm not really focusing on how I look, everyone, because I'm kind of working hard on other things, so I don't really want to.
All right, dear. Okay, well, it's not about you. So.
Giles insists that I come on camera. Anyway, my point being is that I really like the way that Crizzo looked at the Prague show, but I wish he did actually come in 10.
Yeah.
Just one base coat, just because it was his first real show coming in, and it would have really set him apart as a
and the prejudging, that was the first.
Done.
And the prejudging was first impression.
Yeah. And
that's done, isn't it?
What I'm trying to say is, like, for me, it wasn't professional.
Okay. Right, if you can get Dermond up on the screen, I want to just talk about how freaking awesome this guy is. And like I said, we're recording this before we film with Elliott because I just want to do a quick run through. And sometimes we do film it in different order, so I can't comment about what we've talked about, even though you've watched it in the order that you're watching it in. Hopefully I'm sure he's enlightened us a lot about him, and his journey and what's going to happen. And hopefully we can get this guy's pro card and we can get him up on the pro stage and he can start freaking everybody out because I'm guessing he's about, there's no way he'd be a 212 unless he's really, really like under 5'4". There's no way this guy would make 212. Do you know who he reminds me of a little bit in terms of the muscularity? Shuming. Remember Shuming? The Chinese guy from Romania.
Yes.
The guy with a freaky arm, or freaky everything. He was an absolute monster. He reminds me of that kind of muscularity, but I think he's got better condition. So talking about Shuming, he says he's doing Romania.
Oh, good.
And he's going to come back, not as a 212, he's come back as an open.
Good.
Because I think his body is just wanting to grow.
He's going to explode out of his...
He is going to explode. I like these kind of... I think we all love a freak. And like I said, now that Ruli, I think maybe is retired, Ruli Winkler, there is a lot of space for... Who would you say right now is the freakiest guy in the open?
Nick Walker.
I knew you'd say that.
Nick Walker.
I could have written that down on a piece of paper.
For Nick Walker, if you're watching this, you freak. Are you best?
You love him, don't you?
I do not love him.
Well, why don't you just marry him?
Giles, that's so weird. Okay.
Why don't you just marry him?
Guys.
Domestic!
I was going to say, but Nick Walker can put on a show, and this is good. This is a good thing. This is good.
But now I'm a Nick Walker hater.
No, you're not Nick Walker hater.
Do I hate him though?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
You love him more than me.
I do not love him. He's a performer. He is a performer.
All right. I'm just pulling your leg, dear. Right, okay then. So here's another guy, obviously once he hits the pros, we're going to have another new freak on the block. So it's going to be interesting. Imagine him, Shuming, and Nick Walker in a call out because they're kind of, what are they, about 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", maybe?
Yeah, looks good.
I'm guessing, like I said, you'll know by the time you watch this, I'm guessing he's taller than most 212s. Yeah. So I think he's around 230. I think this guy would be ready at maybe 230, 235. I can just tell by I'm guessing, estimating. So the open is clearly where this guy will be. I would imagine he's going to be a super heavyweight as well. So Carlos Thomas Jr., he would have gone up against, I think in 2021, because I'm not sure. Like I said, I'll find out. But we'll find out more because all I said, like this guy here, man, bro, I was looking forward to seeing on stage at Nationals. This blows everyone out of the water. And knowing you, this was probably like 16 weeks out. So this is a guy that gets very, very good condition very quickly. This is what this guy's saying. Looking forward to your next prep in 2023. This is how you look now. You should have competed last weekend. You would have won. What about us boldies? Can I never check in? You look incredible, blah, blah, blah. So, like I said, this is, it's going to be no shock when this guy does turn pro. And do we get the Lauren Lady T approval?
Yes.
Okay, should we talk about the Lady T thing another time?
Oh.
No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it until it's official.
Oh, God.
Okay. Right, okay then. I'm a lady. So here he is in contest condition. I'm guessing this was at the qualifier. Hang on, 23 years old.
He's very young.
To last year's nationals prep. So, and I was 6 weeks out here. So what is he, like 24, 25?
Mm-hmm.
Sucks to be missing the show 2 years in a row, but God has a plan for us all. So Elliott clearly, by my powers of deduction, pulled out of the 2021 and the 2022 nationals for various reasons. Like I said, we'll find out in the interview. But I mean, this guy is like, I mean, he's coming up as like another Nick Walker, isn't he? I mean, if he's 20, that would say he's last year's nationals prep. So what is he? 24, 25 maximum? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's impressive. I've just written an article actually about 25 and under. Well, it's not about that. It's about someone else in particular. But I alluded to bodybuilders that did very, very well in, the Olympia that were under 25. And I mean, he probably just missed the cutoff by the time he gets to the Olympia. I mean, we were getting ahead of ourselves here. But then again, look what happened to Crizzo. People were talking about how he was going to do well at the Olympia and he hadn't even got his pro card, like this guy. So it can happen. It can happen. These guys can, I mean, who's to say this guy, Elliott, couldn't get his pro card, go and do a pro show, literally by extending his prep by a few weeks, jumping into a pro show, like Dean White.
You can just jump into a pro qualifier.
Yeah, go into a pro show, win a pro show, and then literally Brian Bolzano, like literally the fourth or fifth show they do, he could be on stage at the Olympia.
Yeah, forget
getting first couple of call-outs, sorry?
Yeah, forget like the nationals.
But he's got to get his pro card, isn't he? I mean, even Crizzo had to go to the Amateur Olympia.
No, well, people get pro cards for not doing so.
Okay. Oh, Lauren's triggered. Right, okay. So, oh my God, that's a good shot. Look at that. So he's really young, isn't he? Wow. What's these things? It looks like Frankenstein bloody powering him up. Those things, those power leads.
No, those look like the Dr. Dre Beats headphones.
I know. Do you know what? That's the biggest rip-off ever. I bought some £85 they were. So what's that? $115, $120. And I basically bought some very expensive packaging. Because the headphones were just basic, like, what do they call it? Just normal earphones you pay for like a tenner for. I thought, no, I'll give them a go because I keep hearing and people raving about these incredibly expensive headphones. The sound quality must be incredible. I bought them and they were no different. I just paid for a really fancy box and I thought completely con. Dr. Dre Beats are the biggest con on the planet, Lauren. What's the biggest waste of money you've ever spent money on? Come on. What is it? Come on, be quick. You must have bought something that was a load of shit. Come on.
I'm trying to think.
Come on. Anyway,
Maybe too many.
There's too many to count. So, I mean, let's just, whilst we're gazing at this photo of Elliott's freaky shoulders and arms, I tell you what, looks very Branch Warren there.
I know what I...
Oh, you know who Branch Warren is, don't you?
Oh, yeah, now I do.
Basically, Lauren went up to Branch Warren in Sweden at the GASP thing last year. And I think I was off training and then she said, excuse me, what's your name?
It was really embarrassing.
And you went, Branch Warren. He was cool though, when he's a gentleman.
Well, when he said it, I looked at him and I was like, you know that moment in Bridget Jones where she's like, and there's just words at the bottom. That's what...
Nah, Branch is... well, the thing is, if some girl comes up to him at some gym sort of, event or whatever and says, who are you? I mean, he's not going to be funny about that. He's not going to expect you to know exactly who he is. Maybe if he saw you walking with me, maybe then he'd think, well, maybe she should be informed because I'm like one of the main members of the GASP team and we were guests of GASP. So anyway, let's stop rambling. I'll be out of a job then. Wow, yeah, he is awesome. Elliott is absolutely awesome. Like I said, I wanted to get him and Mohammed Fuda on together, but sometimes these things just don't work out the way we plan them. Technical issues, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, what a monster. And I just really hope this guy gets his pro card very, very soon and we see him up there because I'd love to see him against Carlos Thomas Jr. as well because Elliott would have been in the 2021 NPC Nationals and I would have liked to have seen him. I mean, I assume he was a lot smaller then because, I mean, if he's 24 now, whatever, estimating his age, he's going to have been pretty freaky even just a couple of years ago. So, I mean, no, actually, maybe he would have been a lot smaller because some of these guys, they can, like Balzano and Derek Lunsford, these guys can supersize very, very fast, So,
I get some of that.
I mean, he must have been an incredible junior. But what a freak. I love that kind of just big, thick, freaky muscularity. and they always get a good crowd response. So anyway, we're going to quickly go to Bodybuilders Without Borders. I think there's not much. Like I said, there's not much going on in this last week or so because it's the last couple of weeks before the 2023 Arnold Classic. So there's, like I said, it's kind of the last couple of weeks where the updates are slowing down from the athletes. You might get the occasional sneak peek, but really, this is where the athletes are really kind of they're really suffering now. That 4-week out mark. I mean, that's and the thing is, they don't want to give too much away as well. So they want there to be a bit of an element of surprise when they walk on stage at the Arnold Classic. Also, I'm going to try and get Kerith on as well, hopefully for next episode. This is Kerith Badjo. He's getting ready for the New York Pro. He won. What show did he win last year? Was it Tampa? I've got Tampa in my head. Or was it Texas? Oh, God, I've forgotten now. But he won a pro show last year, 212. And he was 7th at the Olympia behind Keon Pearson. And he was only 205, I think he said, because I saw him at breakfast at the Olympia. The Olympia down at the place in the Planet Hollywood. It wasn't horrible. It was horrible, wasn't it? It was okay. It wasn't bad. Lauren's not feeling that one. Prepped by Justin Miller. Yeah, a strong spirit. Yeah. Who used to be George Peterson's coach. And a very, 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 very good up and coming. Well, he's not even up and coming. He's well established. Top 10 in the world now, Kerith Badjo. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does at the New York Pro in, I think it's 13 weeks out from the New York Pro. So about 13 weeks by the time you watch this. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he brings because he is, he's nearly knocking on that, very, very closely knocking on that top 5 of the 212 Olympia. Let's quickly look at Nick Walker. Nick's looking very flat in a lot of his pictures, and I think it's, and there are only 2 weeks left. Obviously, Nick Walker, 3rd place at the Olympia. Really the odds-on favourite to win the Arnold Classic this year, but he's going to have to be at his best because it's a much stronger competition in the Arnold Classic this year. We have Samson Dowda, we have Andrew Jacked, we have Kamal, we have Sean Clarida, we have Big Ramy, 2-time Mr. Olympia. Hopefully returning with all his issues fixed from, like I said, from the stem cell or whatever. I don't see how it can perform miracles in that short space of time, but we shall wait and see. We shall remain optimistic. So if Nick wins this is going to be a huge deal for him. This is going to be the biggest contest he's ever won. So, I mean, the midsection looks good there, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's just going to pump up like a balloon.
Is your lover boy here, Lauren?
No, but he will be fine.
Yeah,
he's on a show.
He puts on a show. That's what you keep saying. You keep repeating that. It was good. No, do you know what? I loved his posing routine because the fact is that he actually had one at the Olympia this year. That's the first time because when he did that New York Pro routine, I was like, what the hell is that? It was just compulsories and then he just strolled off, hit a couple of most musculars, strolled off. And that really pisses me off because these guys should put posing routines together. And lo and behold, at the 2022 Mr. Olympia, he put together a beautiful routine and I was really shocked and I was really happy because you know me, the 2 things I keep banging on about, 3 things now actually, stripy delts, conditioning and posing. These are the 3 things I want to see from the pros because they're easily, conditioning is about hard work. Stripy delts is about not shooting loads of crap in your shoulders, which is very easily avoided. You just don't do it. And then you have good posing, and it's just about actually making the effort to put a proper posing routine togetger. I mean, how hard can it be?
Tiger triggers.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we all have our own triggers, dear. So to me, interesting to see. But Nick's looking very, very flat, super flat in his pictures. And I think he always does. I think he actually looks better when you see him on stage on the day. In some of the lead-up videos, he doesn't actually blow me away as kind of much as he does when he's actually on stage. Like in the flesh, when I saw him on stage at the Olympia, the first time I'd actually seen him in the flesh, he was very impressive. Very, very freaky, very thick, very, very good condition as well. Some very, very, very strong shots. I still think he could do with more chest, and I think I'd like to see more quads in that front pose. I feel like his legs, from the side and the back are absolutely tremendous. But I just think I'd like to see a little bit more going on from the front. He just needs a bit more development in his legs, I think.
A little bit more quad.
Yeah, it's a bit more quad. Because the thing is, he's got short femurs as well. So I could see him I could definitely envision him with a little bit more sweep. and a little bit more fullness in his chest. But like I said in the Power Hour, which is going out, where it'll be out by the time you watch this, with Ron Harris, I said, you get guys that are delt and arm dominant, which he is because his arms are incredible, his delts are incredible. And sometimes, like Sean Clarida, it tends to overpower the chest. So, yawning, dear. I hope you don't have the camera on you when you're doing that. Yeah, there is now. Right, quickly, this is one of the update photos from Samson. That single bicep shot there on the left there looks absolutely phenomenal. But I feel like Samson's had too many. He's been in bloody the hot news every single week for the last 6 months. Because he keeps blowing us away with all his updates. But I said to him, we need to give the 14,000 other athletes a bit of an opportunity here because, I said it seems like favoritism. It's really not. Actually, it's just every single week he is absolutely blowing me away. But
Samson is now also at that level where everyone is going to be talking about him. So he might as well just carry on going,
Yeah, good point. We love Samson anyway. So I'm very excited to see how he'll do, whether he can get revenge on Ramy, because many felt, including myself, that maybe he should have beat Ramy at the Olympia. So he should have got maybe 5th place. And yes, like I said, there's not much going on really. Like I said, it's all hotting up now for the Arnold Classic. One bodybuilder I tell a lot of people are kind of not really talking about because of the strength of the real A-listers is Justin Rodriguez. Because, this is a guy that's been top 10 Olympia twice. He's won pro shows. He's won the Indy Pro, Phil Smith. Tricep looking lumpy. Oh god, they're accusing him of gymming his triceps. I don't know, what is that?
I don't know, but I love his legs. Look at that hamstring.
Yeah, he's got a good hamstring drop. Justin Rodriguez is one of my favorites actually. I think he's really, really good. I think he's got a great physique. That sweep looks a bit odd to me. Does that look odd to you? It looks a bit
altered, but it could just be the lighting.
Yeah, the lighting. No, you can see. Look.
When I say altered, I just
that looks a bit rammied.
Looks like the lighting is a bit strange.
Lauren, that looks rammied.
Maybe it's just genetic. I know other people that have this quad thing going on, and apparently they haven't done anything. But
that looks a bit unnatural to me. I will say it. It looks a bit like Hattie's delts did a couple of years ago. So yeah, just saying. And like I said, I'm a big Justin Rodriguez fan. Because that looks a bit swollen to me. That actually looks photoshopped because it looks so swollen.
Just had leg day.
Okay. Yeah, but his legs wouldn't be that separated if he just had leg day. Because when it kind of goes, the legs go blurry, don't they? When you train legs, and then you wouldn't really do upper body shots just after you've done legs. You wouldn't do that. You would just flash the legs. But then they kind of go blurry with the pump. That's probably the worst time to actually pose your legs after you train legs. Little tiger tip there for you guys.
Unless you're training glutes, then you
Unless you're training glutes. Let's have a good time. Oh shit, we better get moving. We have our Elliott Dermond, the guest, on very, very soon. Quickly go to Sean Clarida. Oh my god, we've really dawdled. Right, quickly I want to show this video because this absolutely blew my socks off. Sean Clarida, theoretically, the guy could win the 2023 Arnold Classic in 2 weeks. He literally looks like Ronnie Coleman, doesn't he?
He's got when you look at his body.
Yeah.
It's like a puzzle.
It's like a puzzle.
No, but he's got bits. They're not. It's not all together. They're bits, but it's puzzle. It's very cool.
He's a freak, isn't he? I love his physique, and to be honest, I think we're on target to see the best Sean Clarida we've ever seen. Even better than when he won the 212 Olympia last year for the second time running. I know it's just he's blowing minds at the moment. He's going to be first call up, but imagine if even if he makes top 3, that's going to make a huge statement because he's going to be beating some very, 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 very good open guys. So he's definitely going to be top 5. Top 3, I think is definitely a strong certainty. Win it, I would not be shocked. Yeah, I would not be shocked.
He looks great.
So anyway, quickly, because like I said, we've got very, very short time before our next guest. Kamal El-Ghaghni is claiming he's 230 pounds at the moment, which is impressive when you realise that this guy is 51, nearly 52 years old, coming over from the 212, the 2019 212 Olympia champion. He was second last year in Tampa behind Akim Williams. Many think he should have won it, including myself, and he was 220 pounds. And now he's claiming he's 230 pounds. And he said he's got a big surprise coming for the Arnold Classic. And as you can see, the guy is still making improvements at this age. It's absolutely phenomenal. The guy is definitely not slowing down. He definitely looks better as an open because the chest, the shoulders, and definitely the quad sweep definitely looks fuller and more impressive when he's an open. And he's also said he's done with 212 as well. So I'm really excited. I've known Kamal bloody 25 years longer. I've trained with him a couple of times, been to his house. And yeah, so he's so it's going to be exciting to see how he fits in with all the big open guys as well. You know, because don't be surprised if he actually beats quite a few of them as well. So it's a very, very bold, brave move for him to do this. And also I am rooting for him to go and do the Masters Olympia in Cluj, Romania in August, as I believe he can win it. I think I can envision Kamal winning 3 Masters Olympias as an open and then retiring. And then he's got 2 Olympia titles. 2 Olympia titles. And has anyone ever done that? No one's ever won 2 Olympia titles, have they? Different ones in different divisions.
I don't know, because I've never seen the
Hang on. No, they haven't. No, because Hadi didn't do 212 at the Olympia. He did 212 shows. He did one in Portugal, he won in 2018. And then he pretty much switched to open. He did open in San Marino 2017. He did careers at 212. No, he hasn't. No. So if Kamal does that, then that's something that will be very, very hard to any athlete ever to duplicate, to win Dexter Jackson won the Masters Olympia and the Mr. Olympia. 2008 at the Mr. Olympia, 2012 the Masters Olympia. So he's done it. So it'll be Dexter and Kamal will go down in history. So like I said, I really, really hope he does that show. Quickly, I want to go to Andrew Jacked. And the reason why is because he's not showing us anything. That's usually a very, very good sign. Take it from me, I've watched these videos. He's training with, do you remember Ronald P. Gordon, RPG? Yeah, he's training with Andrew.
Nice.
And RPG, Ronald, because I said, you're training with Andrew then? And he says, yeah, I'm his punching bag. His punching bag for training. Okay. Like he's beating the shit out of him every time he trains with him. So I was really excited to hear that RPG, Ronald P. Gordon, fantastic open bodybuilder, really very tall, kind of similar structure to Andrew. So it means they don't have to adjust the pins when they're using machines.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Or the on the squat rack, So, right, we're really going to have to go in a couple of minutes. So like I said, Psycho Fitness and Chris Aceto are really, I think they're going to cook up something very, very special with Andrew Jacked. And I think we're going to see the best ever, best conditioned, very, very important at the Arnold Classic. So, and here's a guy who's won his first 2 pro shows, 8th at Olympia, and he's probably brought, 80% conditioning. So I am really super excited. Even though I'm classed as an Andrew Jacked hater. It changes every week now. I'm a Nick Walker hater. I'm a Ramy hater. I actually don't hate them all. I love them all, actually. I think they're all great. Nick the Mutant there. Nick Walker, we've just shown him. Like I said, he's coming in. He's looking very flat at the moment. But like I said, he's one of these guys that just looks phenomenal when he gets to the stage. And that's when it counts. So, and then quickly, I want to give a very, very quick little update to the Masters Olympia because people are starting to, this thing's starting to happening there because it is in all 10. There is in 10 Olympia divisions. There is no. There's what was the one they're missing? Wheelchair? I think it's wheelchair. Yeah, I think there's no wheelchair. I'll go and check, and I'll maybe, if I'm wrong, I'll mention that next week. But so in 10 divisions of bodybuilding, they will have 15 invites through each category, basically, and so you'll have a 212 Masters Olympia champion and so on and everything else. So so I'm really looking forward, and myself and Lauren will be there. We've been asked to go back, and I believe we're doing the live stream commentary. So again, that's a huge honor, and we're really excited to be there for Jake and Alina, and obviously promoters of the Romania Muscle Fest, who we've been the last 2 years, guys. And that is it, really. So, and also do not forget to check out the latest issue of MD. I think the new one's coming out very soon. So still haven't got my J Cutler issue. So anyway, but I'm not. I'll be fine. So okay then, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and please do not forget to hit the notification bell, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting, and we are out.